Hi, I'm Liz. Thank you for joining me today. I've got Aria here again to help me out, to motivate us and make sure that we stay on track. So you might hear her speaking to me at the moment, giving me a little bit of a motivational talk before we get started. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a combination of some yoga and some strength training as well. So I've got a kettlebell next to me. So just, if you've got a kettlebell, grab that. If you've got some kind of weight, grab that. If you don't have anything like that, if you can find something heavy that is not going to be dangerous that you can use to do just a couple of the moves with, Aria's going to chase her tail. Then find something, get creative, like a heavy book or something like that. Sometimes works. An empty milk carton with some dirt or some rocks in it is also great. We're not going to be using it for all of the moves, but just one or two of them. So we're going to begin trying to focus. So bringing some awareness into your body. And a great way to do that is to bring some awareness into your breath. So if it feels comfortable, closing the eyes down. If not, it's coming into a soft gaze. And start to focus on your breath, breathing in and out of the nose. Aria's trying really hard to make herself the focus. And you might, if you've done a lot of yoga or you've been to a couple of yoga classes, you may notice that a lot of it is focused around the breath, moving with the breath, focusing on the breath. And it's a really good tool to have with whatever you're doing in your life. So we are going to use it for movement today while we move through the yoga flow. But then also while we move through a bit more of the strength-like moves. But then when the little workout is finished, when you go and do whatever you're going to do in your day or your evening, you can still remain focused on the breath. And I know that, you're going to lose focus and you'll do other things, you'll be paying attention to other things, but just every now and then bringing that focus back to the breath. And it's just a really lovely way just to come back into the present moment, to come back into your body. So you can spend a lot of time worrying about what might happen in the future, or worrying about something that we've done or something that we've said, something someone has said to us, something that's happened in the past. And it can just make our brain and our whole system just go into a little bit of chaos and make us feel a little bit frazzled, a little bit uneasy, a little bit anxious. So just having that awareness, coming back into the breath, it kind of just puts a halt to those thoughts. It doesn't mean that they're bad or anything like that. We all have things like that happen to us. It just stops us from going into just a state that might cause a lot of stress and anxiety in our system. So focusing on breathing in, breathing out. Nice and smooth, nice and slow. You might notice as we do some of the strength moves or even some of the yoga moves that the breath will change, and just let that happen. You might start to breathe a little faster, a little heavier. Again, just let that happen. I'm going to guide you through this, let you know when to start to slow the breathing down again. Take one more breath where you're sitting. Make your way off your seat. Come onto your hands and knees. We're going to make our way through some cat-cow. It's a really beautiful way to get the spine and the hips and the shoulders moving. Breathing in, drop the belly down, look forward. Breathing out, draw the belly in. Roll the spine up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, drop the belly down, shoulder blades come together. Breathing out, rolling up through the spine, tuck the chin and the hips. Just finding this movement with your own body, with your own breath. Just feeling into your spine, your hips, your shoulders, your neck. Do that one more time. Take the right leg out the back, plant the ball of the foot into the floor, and then start to rock forward and back. Just a gentle little motion, just pressing out through the heel. There's a yoga mat just outside of the camera view, and Aria's decided to plonk herself down on that. Whether she stays there for the whole session, we shall see. A little rock forward and back, and then pressing into the palms. Keep the right leg straight, keep the left knee bent. You're gonna lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So kind of like we'll call it a half downward facing dog. Really press into the palms, let the shoulders relax. Draw the belly in, feeling into that release down the back of the right leg. You might feel that more through the calf and the Achilles, just depending on what's happening in your body. Lower back down. Bring the knee back under the hip. Take the left leg out the back. Gently rock forward and back. And then that option, press down into the palms. Keep the left leg straight. Keep the right knee bent. Press the hips up. It's a gentle release through the back of the left leg. Make sure the shoulders aren't hunching up around the ears. Nice little core brace. And then slowly lower back down. Press the hips back into a child's pose. The arms are reaching out long. If that's not good for the shoulders, rest the forehead down onto the fists or the palms. It's whatever feels best for your body. On your next breath in, pull the body forward, tuck the toes, press the hips into downward facing dog. Here she comes. Hello. Oh, hello. Yes, I see you. Okay. And just might walk the feet out from side to side for the first one. Oh, I think Aria's going to bark in a second. Take a breath in. Take the right leg into the air. Breathing out, step the right foot through, drop the left knee down, holding here. So from the front, palms underneath the shoulders, and then your ankle and your knee lined up on the right side, and then the back knee drop down to the floor, and just holding here. Then you're going to heel toe the right foot out to the side, come onto the outside edge of the right foot, and just explore the movement there of the hip. So you might do some circular-like motions. You might come forward and back. Just exploring that movement. If you've got the space, come down onto your forearms. Elbows underneath the shoulders. And again, just nice and smooth with the breath. A great little practice every time the mind wanders off somewhere else. Just bringing it back. Some days it's going to be easier than others. Some days it's going to feel like it's impossible, and that's okay. But if you're down on the forearms, walk back up to the palms. Just heel toe the foot back in, tuck the back toes, press the hips into downward facing dog. Breathe in, take the left leg into the air. Breathing out, step the left foot through, drop the right knee down, and that same kind of thing. So just take a little moment there, then heel toe the foot out to the side, drop the knee out, and then take that little movement forward and back. Maybe it's round and round. And then that option, come down onto the forearms. Starting to get a nice open through the hip area. press back into the palms, heel toe the foot back in, tuck the back toes, press the hips, downward facing dog. Start to walk the feet up towards your hands. When you get there, little forward fold, bend the knees, let the chest fall over the thighs, let the body hang. And then heel toe the feet out wide and just wide enough for you to sit down into a low squat. Now I know this is not going to be okay for some people. So just again, working with your body, you might be somewhere up here. You might find that the heels are lifted. If there's no unwanted pressure in the knee, I'm going to say that's okay. You can sometimes put a cushion or something underneath the heels just to kind of take that little bit of the edge off. But if you've got this position, really press the elbows into the knees, lift the chest up, draw the belly in. You're going to bring your left hand down to the mat, take the right hand up and looking up towards the right hand. Come back through to center, take the right hand to the mat, left hand reaches up, looking up. Come back through to center, place both hands to the mat, press the hips up, keep the feet wide. And again, just let the body hang, so like a wide-legged forward fold. Now press the hips back down. We're gonna do that again. Reach the right arm up, opening up through the shoulder. Come back through to center, reach the left arm up. Bring the palms to the mat, press the hips to the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. Let's do that one more time. Sitting back, press the knees out, reach the right hand up. Come back through to center, reach the left hand up. Palms come to the mat, press the hips up. Heel toe the feet underneath your hips, and then start to roll up through the spine. Breathing in, reach the arms up. Breathing out, grab the right wrist and then take a little tip over to the left side. Really press out, breathe into the right rib cage, press down into the right foot, and then use your left arm and lengthen the arm out. Really nice stretch down the side of the body. Come back to center, grab the left wrist, press the left foot into the mat, tipping over to the right side, breathing into your left rib cage. And back through to center, one more time on each side. Grab the right wrist, press the hips out to the side. Really nice opening through the side body, just going as far as feels okay. So you want to remain with the chest lifted, the shoulders back. If you're starting to hunch forward like this, just pull it back and just come as far as you can. Good, come back to center, grab the left wrist, press the hips to the left, press the left foot into the mat, reaching to the right. Come back through to center, reach the arms up, bring them down by your side. Let's give the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Bring the hands to the hips, give the hips a little bit of a circle out. Nice little combination today. There's no rules in my book that we cannot mix yoga, we cannot mix some functional strength training. Reverse those circles, because it can all be the one thing. Focus, awareness, moving with control, moving with intention. Moving energy throughout the body, throughout the system. So much more. Good, bring the feet together, bring the knees together, little circle, round and round. And then reverse the circles. Good, coming up. Again, just roll the shoulders. So we're gonna make our way through some sun salutations. So making, or sun salutation A, so at the top of the mat, feet either together or hip width apart. Breathing in, reach the arms up. Breathing out, fold the body forward. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, plant the hands, step back to plank, drop down to the knees, bend the elbows, lower the body all the way to the mat. Roll the shoulders, lift the chest, low cobra. Lower down, press back to the knees, tuck the toes, press the hips up, downward facing dog. Breathing in, look forward. Breathing out, step the feet to the hands, halfway lift, forward fold. Breathing in, come back to center or come back to standing. Hands come back down by your side. Breathing in, reach. Breathing out, fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, plant the hands, step back to plank, knees or toes. I'm going to lower halfway down. Now just a little tip. If I was to lower from here, I'm going to hunch up into my shoulders, and it's just going to end up not kind of feeling or looking or just kind of being as smooth as it could be. So from this plank position, whether you're on the knees or the toes, slightly just shift the body weight forward. And then this is going to give us a nice little opportunity to, when we lower down, we're in a good position. The shoulders are in a good position, the elbows are back, and then press straight through the palms, lifting the chest into upward facing dog. Hello. And then press the hips back, downward facing dog. And just breathing in, hello, breathing out. My little stuffy. Take another breath in, breathing out, step the feet between the hands, halfway lift, forward fold. Breathing in, come back to standing, nice down dog aria. Breathing out, hands by your side or up dog. Beautiful work. He's amazing at yoga. Doga. Breathing in, reach. Breathing out, fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, plant the hands, step or jump back, lower down, press the chest up, press the hips back. Take a breath in, breath out. This time we're going to step or jump your feet wide of your hands. So just face the front. So either just stepping the feet around or take as many steps as you need, or a little bend of the knee and then a little hop to the front of the mat. So we're going to move into some body weight squats. The option to add weight as we go into our next set. So we're going to start low. Again, if this isn't where your hips or your legs allow you to go, don't do it, don't force it. So you might be here again. You might be able to sit down to here and then stand up. So we are going to be doing a squat. So if this is where you're at, that's absolutely awesome. If you need a chair to sit down to the chair, stand back up. Okay, so I'm going to come from the lowest position. So down from here, if that's where you're at, head there now. Take a breath in. Breathing out, press through the heels, stand up. Breathing in, lower back down, press the knees out. Breathing out, press through the heels, stand up. Breathing in, lower back down, draw the belly in. Breathing out, press through the heels, squeeze your butt. Breathing in, lower down. Breathing out, standing. Okay, we're going to do 5 more. So coming down, breathing out, stand up. This is number 2. Coming up, come back down, back up. We've got 2 more. So using the breath, that's the main focus. And then we use the breath to move the body. Last one, big breath out. Good. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. Come back to the top of the mat. Breathing in, reach. Breathing out, fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, plant the hands. Step or jump back from the knees or the toes. Take that little shift forward. Lower halfway down. Hold it just for a moment. Draw the belly button in. And then lower all the way to the mat. So we're going to do some hand release push-ups. So you can do these from the knees or the toes. If you need to do it from a table, a chair, a bench, just don't release the hands though doing that. You can bring yourself up higher so you're in a bit more stable position to push if you can't push from the floor, which is all good. We've got to start where we're at, don't we, Aria? All right, you need to move out of the way. Okay, so a hand release push-up. We start from the push-up position. So you're going to come up to a plank from here. So again, from the knees or the toes, Push yourself up. We want a nice long spine and the body moving together. So if you feel that happening, stay on the toes. If you feel like you've got that little bit of a worm thing happening, come to the knees. So we lower down, breathe in, release the hands, squeeze the back, and then breathe out, press back up. So we're going to go for 10. So down, release, 1. Down, release, 2. Down, release, 3. Down, release, 4. Down, release, 5. Down, release, 6. Down, release, 7. Brace the core. Down, release, 8. Down, release, 9. Down, release, 10. Good, come to the knees, press back into a child's pose. Aria, come here. Come on, come on. I know, you want to stay here. It's okay. Take a little moment. You might notice again the breath. You might have got a little bit out of breath. And just as soon as you can, come back into your nostril breathing. Hello. Hey, you're a big distraction. And then from child's pose, tuck the toes, press the hips into downward facing dog. Whoop. Press the hips back. Breathing in, bend through the knees. Breathing out, step or jump to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Breathing in, come all the way to standing. Breathing out, hands down by your side. Breathing in, reach. Breathing out, fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, plant the hands, step or jump back. Lower. Press the chest up, upward facing dog. Press the hips back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathing out, step the right foot through. Turn the back foot in. We're going to come up to warrior 2. So arms reaching out long. We want heel to heel alignment. Hips tucked under. Shoulders relaxed. And then reaching in both directions. Come back into the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. And sink down in to the front leg. So right leg's forward, really press out through the back edge of your left foot. So lots of energy happening from the lower body, drawing it up, and then like you're shooting it out the fingertips. Take one more breath in, breathing out, coming into side angle. Forearm to the thigh, top arm reaches over. If you've got another variation of this, feel free. Really reach that top arm, draw the belly in, and we want to get the chest squared to the side of the room or whatever you're facing right now. Take one more breath in, breathing out. Circle the hands down to the mat. Take the right leg up and back, and then a little challenge here if you want it. You can either just bring the foot to the floor or start to shift the body weight forward, bend through the right knee, and then lower the body down. Lift the chest up, upward facing dog. Press the hips back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathing out, step the left foot through, coming up, warrior 2. Finding that position, tuck the pelvis under, draw the belly button in, sink down into that front leg, press out through that back foot. One more breath in, breathing out, side angle, your version of. One more breath in and out. Bring the hands down to the mat. Take the left leg up and back. You know that option. Shift the body weight forward. Draw the belly button in. Lower down. Press the chest up. Press the hips back. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Look forward. Step or jump the feet wide of your hands. Coming down into that low squat. Now your option, if you've got that weight, is grab it. And then, Aria's watching me over the back of the camera there. She's like, what are you doing, Mum? I'm coming in, I'm coming in. All right, so we've got the weight here. So I'm not gonna come all the way back down. So we just want to do like a 90-degree bend with our squat. So we are going to come all the way to standing. So press down through the heels, stand up, and then let's go from the side with the first one. So you're going to breathe in, sit the butt back. So come down to 90 degrees, and then standing up, pressing through the heels, squeeze your butt. If you've got a kettlebell, hold it here at your chest. Thumbs can kind of come on the inside of the handles, and then just hold it. Call it a goblet squat. If you've got a dumbbell, just holding it however feels comfortable for you. So find that position. So we're going to go for 10. All right, off we go. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, sit the butt back and down. Breathing out, drive through the heels. Breathing in, breathing out. Next one's number 5. Good, 5 more. Press the knees out as you come down. Squeeze the butt as you stand. Nice even pressure through both heels. We've got 3 more. Good, last one. If you can hear my knees. Good, and just safely sit the weight down just somewhere away. I'm not gonna hit it. Come back into the breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Give the legs a little bit of shake out if you need. All right, I'm going to face the front for this one. Breathing in, reach up. Breathing out, fold forward. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, plant the hands, step or jump back. Lower, halfway down, hold it just for a moment. Feel that little bit of the challenge, and then lower all the way down to the ground. So we're going to go back into those hand release push-ups. So just 2 moves today. So a body weight one, our push-up, and then our squat with a weight or just with body weight. So both fantastic moves to get your body strong, to get your body mobile. All right, hands wide, press up to that plank position. Oh yeah, no. No. All right, off we go. So lower down, release, breathe out, press. Lower down, release, breathe out, press. That's 2, down, release, up, 3, down, release, up, 4, down, release, up, 5, down, release, up, 6, down, release, up, 7, down, release, up, 8, down, release, up, 9, down, release, up, 10. Just hold plank just for a little bit. Walk your hands in underneath the shoulders, draw the belly button in, press out through the heels. If you're on the knees, same thing. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your quads, draw the belly in. Take one more breath in, breathing out, press back, downward facing dog. Breathing in, look forward. Breathing out, step or jump to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold. And coming all the way up to standing. Hands down by your side. Good, breathing in, reach. Breathing out, fold. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathing out, plant the hands, step or jump back. Remember, take that little shift forward of the body. Bend the elbows lower down. Press through the palms, upward facing dog. Press back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathing out, step the right foot through, coming up into warrior 2. Come down into side angle. Remember, really turn the chest to the side. Draw the belly button in. And then we're going to flip this back into reverse warrior. So from the side, it's the same stance as if warrior 2. And
side angle. And now your back hand, your left hand can either be somewhere along that back leg, or you can bring it to that lower back area. So it's quite a nice little position here. Take one more breath in. Breathing out, circle the hands down to the mat. Take the right leg up and back, bend through the knee, shift the body weight forward, lower the body down. Press the chest up, press the hips back. Left leg lifts, step the left foot through, warrior two. Come down into side angle. And then coming up into reverse warrior. So your option, palm either to the leg, bring it around, just resting it on the lower back area. One more breath in, breathing out, circle the hands down. Take the left leg up and back, bend the knee, shift forward, lower, press up, press back. Take a breath in, breath out, and bend through the knees. Just sitting back. Take a little moment. Let's give the body a little thank you for what it did. Now, if you're like, hey, what's going on, Liz? That was nowhere near enough work for me. Do another 2, maybe 3 rounds of the squats and the hand release push-ups. So you can pause the video now if you like and just do that. Aria says, no mum, you've done enough. And then if you think, no, that's good, Liz, I've had enough today, that's enough for me, then we're just going to continue on just with a little bit more of just like a recovery kind of style. You're going to excuse me? Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to sit back into a wide knee child's pose. So if your knees were together, take them out wide. Of course, if that doesn't feel right for you, then don't do it. And then sitting the hips back, walk the arms out, and then lower down. I've got my head in a very dangerous position here if Aria decides to fart on me. Just breathing. Starting to let everything relax a little bit more now. Aria makes quite a good pillow. Oh, shake it out. Shake it out. No, 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 no. Good. So I'm going to come down into, if I can, I'm going to come into Swan. So it can be just from the knees here, from the hands and knees, bring the right knee just behind the right wrist, and then just bring the foot in just a little bit, sort of towards that left hip. Take the left leg, back, and just check behind you, make sure it's going directly behind you, it's not swinging out to the side somewhere. If this doesn't feel right for you and you want something a little less intense, come onto the right butt cheek, and then just bring the left leg around, kind of so it's, the thigh is touching the bottom of the right foot. That's just a nice, just a little less intense on the right hip. And then the option is you can stay like this or start to fold that forward, and you might start to feel a bit of a stretch through that right glute. And then the same thing if you are with the hips square to the mat, you've got the left leg out the back. Option to stay up like this, option to fold it all the way forward, or just come down as far as feels okay for you. So a few squats, let's give the hips a bit of a release. Here she comes again. Been feeding her pumpkin, she absolutely loves it, and her hair has become so much softer, hasn't it? Her and Daisy absolutely love it. They guzzle it up of an evening with their other food. Take one more breath where you are. On your next inhale, lift yourself back up if you're not already there. Oh. Okay. And then just kind of swiggle your way out of that and then make your way to the other side. So if you need to take any little movements or stretches after that shape, do that. And then when you're ready, bring the left knee behind the left wrist. Take the right leg out the back, or any kind of option that works best for you. And then option to stay up, option to fold forward. That was my foot on the garage door area. There's no one there. It's me. As much as you can, just relaxing down into the shape. It's one of those ones that's either just really nice or horrible. It's a word for it. And just coming out, just coming onto that left hip. And then bring the legs out in front. Give it a little bit of a shake. And then just find your comfortable seated position. Bring the arms behind, roll the shoulders back, press the chest forward. And then bring the arms forward, roll the shoulders forward. And then just sitting up nice and tall, so not a traditional kind of yoga or workout really, just a little bit of a combination. So if you're wanting more, go back, do some more rounds of the squats and the push-ups until you feel like you are done. Have a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of breath. Again, thank yourself for making the time to do this today. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.